Would a vegan eat a cloned animal? I think if you could take, I think if you could take like all, if you could clone an animal to take, this is a really good question. If you could clone an animal and like take out all brain function, but then you just like should go lab grown meat in general then, right? Like you shouldn't even get into that topic. You should just go lab grown. Yeah, no, I think a lot of vegans might come back and eat meat after when it's lab grown. I think genuinely. I still don't understand the science behind lab grown meat. It's literally just taking meat from like a cow, right? And then you put it inside of like a petri dish or whatever, and you can stimulate muscle growth, but without a brain and without all of the body parts. If you can just give muscle and meat and fat and all of the things that go into what meat is, if you can just give it all of the correct enzymes and the correct chemicals and amino acids, all the fucking stupid shit that makes science, if you can just give it that and you can make it grow in a dish, but how do they get the original meat? You get it from the animal once. You need it once from the animal forever. One cow has to not even die. They just have to cut a hole in it, then take out a chunk. It doesn't even really feel it because of the way cows work. It's like they just figured out, was it in China? They just figured out how to actually make artificial blood. They've kind of have like almost solved synthesized blood, or like, no, it wasn't solving synthesized blood. I think it was making blood last longer, much longer than like what is it, like 18 days or something that blood can last before it can't be used anymore. I think that's what they did. They made it, they figured out how to make blood last. And currently we can do lab grown meat. By the way, currently we can do lab grown meat. We just can't do it at scale currently. And also there's the problem of people being scared of it, because with lab grown meat, you can add things in and it makes it so you can make lab grown meat healthier, right? Imagine getting beef with vitamins. Imagine you got to eat nothing but beef, the greatest meat that a lot of people think is great, Americans, hamburger, but it had all of like your essential dietary things. Vitamin beef. Yeah, you got it. Beef with electrolytes. Yeah. I get my burger and my burger has estrogen. They're trans in everybody that eats the burger. My brother did his PhD in sustainable food. There's so much science that goes into making synthetic milk, but just have the consistency of real milk. Yeah, no, it's a really cool process. And it's something that's like really interesting to, we've gone down a lot of cool science rabbit holes today, man. And I understand that people would be naturally skeptical, but I also think that like, I don't know, if it's comparable in price, texture, and taste, I would instantly go vegan. Exactly. No, and then it takes away like the factory farming of animals, which is like a major cause of pollution. Like there's like we're getting all the ethical discussions of this shit.
Yes, but have you considered that I want to feel the soul of the living thinking animal I am eating?
Yeah.
Because I'm a monster who will be against this even if it tastes exactly the same. /S.
Would lab grown be considered halal or kosher for religious people? I don't know. That would be, you gotta ask the proper people for that. Squid says that it would not be kosher. Squid is officially reporting lab-grown meat would not be kosher. Okay, but what if we got New Testament Plus, and with that one, we add in, yeah, New Testament Plus DLC. New Testament isn't a Jewish text. Yeah, but New Testament Plus could be. You're not listening to anything that I'm saying. Why, if it's a new fucking DLC, it could go to any fucking religion. Jesus Christ. But wait, does kosher only apply, does kosher have to be to everything you eat? Like literally everything? I don't know, what does kosher mean? I'm defining it, because define kosher food. Which foods are forbidden and also specify permitted foods. Which animals are permissible, methods of slaughter, as long as they are not combined with non-kosher ingredients? No, I think they might be kosher, because it says that animals are permissible to eat for like methods of the slaughter. So there's oh wait, so you would have to get a sochet. I don't know how to say that word. A sochet. Choquette. Thank you. But no, that's for the meat. So if you're the original cow that you take the meat from, what if the original cow doesn't even die? Kosher eating has rules beyond that, but it would also be considered, like it might even be considered in the vegan thing. I don't even, yeah, no, it's a weird thing. That's what I'm saying. You need NT plus. Saying it. Listen, NT plus. I'll write it. I'll be the savior. You're welcome. You're welcome. Squid calling. Wait, Squid tried to call me? Wait, did she? Oh, I didn't realize she tried to call. Sorry, it doesn't ring. Yo. You try to let a woman talk. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was on the wrong device. It was on the wrong device.
Ow.
Sorry. I got.
You're good. Hey.
Can I explain it to you quickly?
Yeah, give me the explain it like I'm five Cliff Notes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm not Moses. I don't speak for the Jews, but to my knowledge, there is some aspects of it of like things that need to be blessed. But for most people that subscribe to kosher eating, there are fundamental rules that are found in Deuteronomy or whatever, that part of the
Is that
Hebrew
a type of
Bible.
science?
That is it's one of the books in the Bible. Like how there's like Genesis and Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is the area of the Hebrew Bible, i.e., the Old Testament or the Torah, that is that goes over like laws and rules. So
Okay.
there's like a bunch of things that are covered in there, and part of what is covered in there is kosher eating.
Chosen people,
And part of
sperming
it,
going
if you
on.
like, is no eating
Shut up. Sorry,
shellfish
not
and
you.
all
It's
that
all
kind
the
of
chatter.
stuff.
Shut up. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You just hate women. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just
But part of it is like we like if you keep kosher, you don't eat shellfish at all. That's one of the rules within Deuteronomy. It's one of the kosher rules. But some of it is about like not mixing life and death. So that's why we can't have like a I'm saying we
Real
like I
ones
keep kosher,
remember
I
the
don't, but
Bible
that's why
Box
people who keep
song.
kosher can't have a cheeseburger is because you got the burger from the cow when it was dead and the cheese with milk that you got from the cow while it was alive, and mixing life or death is
Oh,
considered sacrilegious. So
okay.
there are certain
Interesting.
things with like food preparations and things being blessed as well. But either way, I think the lab grown meat wouldn't count, wouldn't work. If it's pork, we don't eat pork. So,
Right.
so it would work circumstantially
Wait,
depending on if
if
the
the cow,
person.
wait. If the cow was still alive, you could have a cheeseburger.
No, you can't cheat it like that. You can't cheat it
What do
like
you
that.
mean? No, I'm saying in a lab
You
grown
can't.
meat situation, you take it while the cow is alive and the cow never dies and it goes on to live a long and healthy life, and you also get cheese from that same cow.
Yeah. No, that's still it. It's a properties thing, bro. It's a property. I don't know. We need a rabbi. Should I call my rabbi? Should I call Rabbi Greenberg?
I actually like I know that like I'm goofing off a little bit here, but I'm also like genuinely curious because I think that a lot of like newer technology that comes into any religion that has restrictions, they figure out how to spin it. You know what I'm saying? It gets spun.
100%. a hundred
Yeah.
percent. But
So I think that there's a way to spin this that halal and kosher would be able to fit. Like I think you
look,
could.
okay, look, if you want to put a little PR spin on a part of like my religion, I don't fucking care. But no, it's just like I don't think it would apply, but I also don't know that much about like lab grown meat besides what you just talked about.
Yeah,
So,
it's literally just taking a chunk of a cow and you infinitely reproduce from it for just like feeding just that little thing in a petri dish. It's like essentially what it is, but then you do it in like a larger format.
that's sick. That's sick as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't think it counts as kosher. It also, part of it is also food prep. You can't have anything that's like not kosher on a counter that's cooked kosher food. So a lot of like kosher having households that like really, really keep it, they have to get a whole new kitchen when they move into a place because only kosher food can be prepped there.
That sounds annoying as hell. That would make me leave the religion, dude, if I was like had to do that. That would be tough to have to replace an entire damn kitchen.
Yeah, there's people who keep it to different extents. Like I know people who just don't eat like a cheeseburger, they don't eat pork, and then there are people who do the whole like everything has to be blessed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That sucks. A
So,
friend of mine growing up had 2 dishwashers. Holy. I have 2 dishwashers.
yeah.
What the hell?
Do you?
Yeah, they're like 2 very small ones. They stack in the same amount of space as a normal dishwasher, but it's so you can run one more often since we're a couple and not going to produce as many dishes. So we can run it more often in a smaller load. Does that make sense?
I honestly thought you were just gonna be misogynistic, but yeah, that works.
You were thought I was going to spin it like a polyamorous thing. No, I legitimately have 2 dishwashers. It's just what came in the house. It,
I did
no,
think you were gonna spin it
I'm
that
not
way.
a
I'm sorry.
freak, okay? I respect women.
Allegedly.
He's an arsonist on a noble quest to escape the wrath of the IRS. He's got conflicting